it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I am here for part 2 of this Use Your Books series where we're going to make these boiled books that I have put together. So I've got 3 here that are all made of just kind of weird eclectic scrap paper. I have glued down papers onto the original book that we want to use up the book. So now I'm on to the next step, where I'm going to just take some bits and bobs of botanicals and put them throughout the book pages just to add markings and color. This is some very gnarly dry. All of my leaves and everything today are going to be very dry because it is stuff that I've had lying around. This is actually aconite. It's a very sharp and gnarly kind of plant. It's really neat. So I'm going to just throw a couple of those in random places. I'm not putting vegetation in all of the pages, just a few. I'm going to be, after I get these all bundled, they're going to be going into a rusty water, like a water with rust throughout. So I'm not going to be like putting rusty bits throughout the book itself. Okay, let's see what other things I have. So I've got this dry purple flower. Let's find a spot for it. Okay. So it's a little bit unruly to hold on to, but we can do it. Okay. And just give it a press. Okay, so that's going to crunch in there. We know this. It's dry. Now I have here a piece of cotton. I'm going to lay this down. And then for the fun of it, I'm going to put a little bit of vegetation in here too. So just, again, dry vegetation. These are brown-eyed Susan. Take 2 of them. One underneath, one on top of this leaf. Okay. Then I will bring this together here and here. Just make sure it fits around, like around fully your book, okay? Because that will be a little important to just kind of be able to wrap it successfully. Now I'm wrapping it today in some, this is actually wool yarn. It's very, very thin, and I want to use it up because, well, use some of it up, not all of it, but some of it, because I just have a ton. And I often use this yarn for plying, but I want to see what it will come out as when it's all nice and rust dyed. So even though I'm using it to wrap, see how I'm just going around, I'm actually going to be, this will become journal material as well because it's going to get all grungy as well. And then I'll probably use it in clusters. Now I'm going to wrap the opposite direction here. So we're going to go all around this. And I'll move the yarn out of the way if I can. I'll just put it on the floor below me here. So that you can actually see the book as I wrap it. There we go. If I get it to stand up and not fall over. There we go. Okay. Oops, what are we caught on here? There we go. Got caught on my table leg for a moment. So I'm going to do this quite generously because I want it all to stay together. And don't worry about like, oh, how are you going to get this off without it being a nightmare? So I don't care. I'm going to cut it off with scissors. I want it to be all grungy and random. There's some threads I'm picking up here too from the tray on the floor where I let things fall to, so that I keep like a tray under my desk that I can dump off so that everything doesn't get on the carpet. Alright, so that's good. That's nice and bundled. It's not going to come undone. So then I'll just kind of go around it with this last little bit and just sort of tie a knot. That's not going to come undone anyways. So you can see in there we've trapped some botanicals. So let's move on to the next one. This again is just a white cotton scrap of fabric. And then on the outside of this one is this nice book board. So let's add some plants. That's a nice random plant. And we'll throw the brown-eyed Susan at the back here again. It makes a beautiful bluish black, purpley kind of tone. Got a little aconite in here. I have never printed with aconite before, I don't know. These are some birch leaf with catkins. Oh, so crunchy. If this is making you even slightly uncomfortable, I'm so sorry. I know, it looks messy and you think, oh my gosh. All right, some alum wood leaves. Keep that here. These can go. These catkins can go. Oh no, they're already in there. Okay. Bits and bobs, bits and bobs. That's probably good. Maybe a couple more things. Some ginkgo, dried ginkgo leaf. Toss it in. Okay. Then bring it over here. Just lay that back down underneath nicely how we want it. Gather everything back together in this chaos. All right. Wrap this side. And this side. Okay. And yarn. This. Oops. Sorry, I bumped you there. Okay. Yeah, that feels like it's good and under control now. And I have some really lovely fabrics that have these embroidery designs on them. Now, I wanted to see what would happen with this one because I'm not particularly attached to this one. I have some really beautiful ones, but I wanted to see if it would hold up in boiling water or what will happen. I suspect this will go away because I think these are wash away. I think the intention is that you embroider on top and then that should just wash away. Although I know some of them don't wash away. So we'll see. This one's vintage, so we'll see what happens. All right, we'll go with the plants underneath. And then some leaves for in here. More just kind of random leaves. Put some beside that metal and see what happens. And some aconite. Got some seeds from those brown-eyed Susans hanging around. Some alum wood, more brown-eyed Susan. Put some in the middle where we don't have much in the way of plant. Okay, that should be good. Then, just center this again. Put our plants here that we want underneath and on top. Gather our book back together here. There's another little brown-eyed Susan. I'll save that one. Okay. This has truly become an exercise of like using up all the things that I've needed to use up. I had this bag of dry botanical that I've needed to use up that I had picked to do botanical dyeing with, and then I just did not get it done. So now the plants are all dry, but they're still great for this. So, oops, did I break that? Yep. Hold on. I need to find the end. There it is. Okay. Put it back down. Come back to me. when you're doing this, just be careful that you don't like hurt your finger, especially if you get the string in the crease of your finger, if your skin is a little dry because it is winter, because then you can accidentally give yourself like essentially a paper cut type cut, and that's not nice. They're usually the tiniest cuts, but they hurt. Oh my goodness. And they're in like the most awkward place. Ask me how I know, as someone who works with a lot of string in my life. Okay. Oops, that's okay. All right, so we have 3 bundles tied up now. So these are heading off to go into a roasting pot with boiling water. But I'm going to add them first in the rusty water. I'm going to put some rusty bits inside, cogs and such. I'm going to press them down, and they're going to boil for about an hour and a half, and then I'm going to let them simmer for a little bit after that, and we shall see what we end up with. I will do the reveal of these bundles on camera with you. So I'll talk to you again soon in the next video as part of this series. Again, if you want to do this with me, you might want to just wait until the whole series is done so you can make sure that this turns out, because this is a complete experiment for me. So thank you for watching, and I will be back.